So you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas, but everything is uncertain right now. That's right. We've done a couple of videos on this topic as far as, should you buy now or should you wait? Is the market going to crash? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about overpaying versus overbidding. And if you're overbidding, that is different than overpaying. But really, why do you care? It's not your money in the first place, right? I mean, if you're financing. Now, if you're paying cash, that's a different story. But if you're financing, you're not really using your own money. So does it really matter if you're going to overbid to win a property? But that is a big difference from overpaying, all right? So that's what we're going to discuss in this video. I want to share with you a quick scenario. That way you can maybe get a better idea of how this looks on paper and why is it possibly still a good time to buy. I believe you make your money when you buy. There's still deals to be found in any type of market. The best people or the best investors and the smartest people always find a deal in any market. People buy when the market's up, people buy when the market's down. So it really comes down to making the right moves when you buy that home. Now you have to work with the best team. And so far this year, we've already helped over 100 families win homes securely in this market. Now think about this, winning a home in this market over 100 times already so far this year. We're barely even getting into spring. So we're going to discuss that in this video. Plus I'm going to share with you an article that recently came out about how to win a home. And I'm going to walk through that and see, is that really correct? Or are they a little misguided in some things? So we're going to get after that right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Dallas, Texas and the surrounding areas, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Dallas. My name is Levi. My partner Travis and the team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you and you and you and you looking to make their move to Dallas. We love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas. So I want to get into this real quick. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about well, before I do that, here's the deal. I'm going to share with you a scenario. Now, here's the scenario. Let's take the average home that we're working with on clients, which is around $550,000. And let's even put this at worst case scenario, which is, let's say $80,000 over. Now, first of all, there's a difference between overpaying and overbidding. If you overbid to win a house, as long as the comps support it and the appreciation rates that we're moving into right now support it, we're going to let you know because so far, many of the deals that we've done over the last couple of months, we haven't had any clients have to pay over or out of pocket because their appraisal did not come in. Now, that was a big deal last year about doing an appraisal waiver because homes were not catching up to the overpaying. And so therefore people were having to pay if the home did not appraise 10, 20, 30, sometimes $40,000 out of pocket to, because to make up the difference because the home did not appraise. Now, the way we look at the home, the market, the appreciation rates, the values, everything, we take that into account before we make an offer on a home. So we pre-negotiate every single deal. That's how we're winning so many homes, first of all. Second of all, we're going to let you know ahead of time, okay, is this home likely going to appraise for what we bid over to get it? So once we pre-negotiate that deal, we're going to understand, okay, this is what it's going to take to win the deal. Now, if we know we have to go $60,000 or $80,000, and I'm going to show you $80,000 in the scenario, which is really almost worst case scenario. Okay. That's the highest amount likely. Now there is some markets or some areas, some neighborhoods going 100, but we're seeing a lot less of that. And we've still secured homes in this market, 15,000 under at list price, 10,000 over, 20,000 over, and 30,000 over as well, all the way up to we've done 100. But I want to share with you 800 or 80,000 over just because I think this will give you a good idea of what's really going on. And you're not really using your own money. So is this a big deal if the home's going to appraise by the time you close on it? So that's what I want to share with you. So if I'm going to jump in here, share my screen real quick. And I just kind of put together this quick slide deck. If I can find it here. All right, there we go. Let me open this up. So think about this. If you put you find a $550,000 home, and let's say you're going to put 20% down. Okay. Now when you go 20% down, that's about $110,000. Let's say you go 80,000 over and you're going to pay $630,000 to win this property. Well, that's going to be a difference. Your down payment's now going to be $126,000. Okay, so that difference is $16,000. Now, your payment's going to go from $2,334, which it would have been at a $550,000 house, to $2,674. That's a difference of $340 per month. So that's a difference of about $4,080 per year. Now, if your monthly budget is $2,334, that's all you can do, then it's probably not wise for you to look in that neighborhood or that area, because if you can't stretch it, now we only have these discussions with clients that are willing and able to do this, first of all. But let's say $4,080 a year, that's what your payment's going to be. So really, if you look at that, in the first year, that's about $20,000. So even though you went 80,000 over in the first year, you're only out of pocket about $20,000. So again, you're not overpaying $80,000. You've leveraged $80,000 with $20,000 of your own money. So that's the big difference. Now, if you take that $80,000 that you went over on the property, you minus the $16,000, that is $64,000. You divide that $64,000 by the $4,080, okay, that you're going to be paying each year. It's going to take you 15.6 years to get to that point. So this is why I'm asking you this point. So think about that, 15.6 years to get to the point that you overpaid $80,000. Now, here's the thing. If the home appraises at 630, which again, we will let you know ahead of time. And we've been very, very accurate of letting our clients know what we feel like that home will appraise at. And let's just say we are 100% confident this home will appraise at $630,000. You're not going to come out of pocket, right? So the appraisal waiver, even though we might submit an appraisal waiver, doesn't mean you're actually going to have to exercise that or come out of pocket. Now, you do come out of pocket for the additional $16,000 on the down payment. But again, to actually make up or build up to get to that big difference of the $80,000 will take you 15.6 years to get there. So let me ask you this. Do you think your home, first of all, if it appraises right at $630,000, do you think you will gain that equity over time? First of all, you're going to be break even if it appraises at that amount. So you didn't overpay $80,000. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, comment below, or if it does make sense, comment below as well and say, yes, that does make sense. Now, I know some of you will get very technical and still rip me to shreds, but that's okay. But think about this. If it appraises at 630, then you didn't overpay at all whatsoever. All right. So you overbid to win that house, but you didn't overpay. But still, even to make up that $80,000 would be 15.6 years. Most people right now are only staying in their homes on average 3 to 7 years. So you would cut that time in half. Your home will likely appreciate even greater than amount, even if you stayed in there for 7 years and there was some crash in the next 1 to 2 years. Well, it really wouldn't matter because you can weather almost any market crash if you're planning to stay in your home 1 to 2 years after that crash. And especially here in Dallas, when we're seeing record migration, we're seeing record businesses move here, we're seeing GDP growth. You should check out the last video we did about the GDP growth here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Texas, one of the top states, and then you have Dallas, number 2 in the state for GDP growth. So strong economy, strong job market, strong migration. Businesses are thriving here. Freedom-friendly, business-friendly, tax-friendly environment. We don't see any letdown. Plus, we've got the space to grow here in the Dallas area. So all those factors coming into play, it's still a pretty good time. And right now, rates at 5%, these are historically low rates still in effect. And if they do jump up to 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10%, would you ask yourself, well, I should have bought when it was 5%. I mean, when I bought my house in 2019, I got it at a 5% rate. And at the time, didn't even bat an eye, didn't think anything about it at all whatsoever. Now I refinanced to 2.25 at the lowest of the low last year. And that's what you could do as well. So you got a couple of options. you either go ahead and get now at 5%. If the rates ever do drop back below down that, you can simply refinance. Or if the rates continue to go up, that means the appreciation is probably going to go up, because real estate is the best hedge against inflation, bar none. And so therefore your appreciation is going to build up quite a bit in there as well. But if you plan to stick around for a couple of years, at least 2 years, then you're also going to have no capital gains tax up to $500,000 if you're married for the time being. That you can also, if you were to sell and find something else, or decide to move again, anything along those lines, you're probably going to be covered. So here's what I want to share with you too on this article that came up. So it was talking about, let me just jump out of here real quick. It was talking about, how to win a home in this market. Okay. So first of all, the first thing they say is it takes endurance. This is coming straight from the Dallas Morning News. It takes endurance. So much activity in the market. Buyers need to be ready for their offers to be rejected and react quickly. Okay. I don't believe that at all whatsoever. Okay. Actually, I heard someone that I respect highly, highly in the real estate industry the other day in a group call we were talking on. And they said, look, with our buyers, we tell them be prepared to lose their first 15 offers. And I said, what? I would never, ever tell one of our clients that, to be prepared to lose 15 offers. That's not going to happen with our team. We rarely go past the second, possibly third offer. That's why we've been able to secure over 100 homes already in just barely the first quarter of this year for 2022, is because we are extremely aggressive for our clients. We figure out what it's going to take to win that home. Then we let you know, again, we let you know the difference of overpaying versus overbidding. Is the comps, or are the comps going to support that price? So will you come in with at equitable price, or actually have some equity built into it? And then again, as you've just seen now in the scenario, that, if you're going to be here for any given time, you're probably going to outlive any crash. And the crash here in Dallas is probably not going to be, if there was one, it's probably not going to be that significant. But we don't see any letdown, because they are projecting, we shared this in other videos, that Dallas will be the number 3 metro in population over the next 6 to 7 years, passing up Chicago. Think about that. I mean, Chicago, LA, New York have been the leaders for decades. Houston's been a leader in front of Dallas for decades. And now Dallas just passed up Houston in population. It's not going to let up. And we have plenty of renters here as well, sitting around waiting for that right time to strike. Although the people that said last year, we're going to wait till this year to buy, or next year now, a lot of them are now saying that they wish they would have went ahead and bought last year. And so these are some things to keep in consideration. But let me share with you again, let's go back through this article again real quick. Okay, realtor up. All right, well, hey, I can agree with that one. With all the complexities of negotiations and paperwork throughout the process, agents, let's see. Yeah, don't buy a home without a real estate agent. Sure. Well, that is that's a good idea. Let's say that's a good idea. But if we jump back in here and go to know what you want. Okay. Said buyers should be careful how much they let outside opinions influence their buying decisions. Okay. That I absolutely agree with. Okay. So we typically have to deal with not really bad clients. It's more like family members, that are the real estate experts that usually live out of state, don't live anywhere close to Dallas, but they bought and sold one home in their lifetime before. So all of a sudden now they are the real estate expert, which, hey, look, I absolutely believe you should talk to friends and family, but at the same time, think about where they're coming from. Are they in the market? Are they involved in the market every single day? Are they doing the types of transactions like we're doing, where we've already gone through 100 transactions with clients so far this year? That's a lot of experience just in the first quarter. So I would say that we've navigated and won our clients several homes throughout this, one of the craziest markets ever, working. That's strictly on our buyer side and our out-of-state buyer side. So all of our out-of-state clients, we've been able to do that for them. So know what you want, but also listen to the trusted realtor that you realtored up with. That's what they're saying there. Waive contingencies. We've talked about that. Appraisal waivers. option periods, things like this. We'll talk you through more of that process whenever we get to it. Offer a lease back. Now, this something is, okay, offer a lease back. I think that is a good idea. It just really depends on the situation. But again, we work every single home on a case-by-case basis. We got to figure out what it's going to take. Now, the reality is you shouldn't go longer than 60 days for a lease back, because that's really the legal obligation of a mortgage loan. Typically, when you finance a home, you have 60 days to actually take occupancy of that home. So any seller wanting longer than 60 days, that's not a good idea. And that's not something we ever recommend. And 60 days is more than enough time for anybody, if they're serious, to get out of that house or to find another house and buy something. And unless they're working with that realtor that says, hey, get prepared to lose a lot of deals, that is a problem. They could be working with the wrong realtor. So that could be an issue. But now if they're working with us, no problem. We'll definitely get them out of there in 60 days. But legally, most financed deals, you have to take occupancy within 60 days. So we don't want any of our clients to go past the 60-day lease back just because it's not good. It's not legal, and it's just not good anyways. You got to get into that home. But we're going to try to keep that as short as possible. So that's really, I guess, the end of that article there. So there's a couple of good points, but I definitely disagree with the first point that you have to be prepared or be in it for the long haul. Now, here's the thing. If you are very particular and you want a certain home or certain criteria, then it is going to take longer. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, look, we understand it's your house, it's your money. You're going to get what you want. But if we have to be very particular and specific on certain items and there's no compromise, then that's just going to take a little bit of time. And if for some reason that house is unattainable based on what we find out, or for some reason we actually miss out on that home throughout the negotiation, then we're back to square one, right? We're still looking for that needle in the haystack. And so the clients that are really succeeding right now know that this is probably not going to be their forever home. So they are coming in and finding a home as close to what they want as possible. And they know that through time and appreciation and the values going up, everything with the current market, that they'll get to know the area a lot better. And then they'll simply, hey, put this up for sale within 2, 3, maybe 4 years. And then we, find them something else at the time, depending on how the market looks at the time. But, we're working with clients now that we've already bought with this year or last year, the year before, and they're ready to make moves, or things come up, situations change, life, health, family, all kinds of things come up. And so, even though people sometimes have intentions to stay in a place for a very long time, doesn't mean life allows that. And so, the main thing is that you make your money when you buy. You got to buy smart. You got to, really work with the right team. I believe the Living in Dallas, Texas team is the right team for you. So, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We're happy to help you make a smooth move to Dallas. And until next time, well, we hope to show you around town.